So first, let me make this clear that I never ever intend to compare between Omoyele Sowore and Verydarkman. Never, because I believe everybody puts in your little efforts is what's going to make the country great. Is what's going to make the country better. I never intend to compare. But since you guys have started with the comparison, okay, let us dive into it. Start with Mr. Simon. Listen.
And let me even add this to you, in case you think people don't know. You are what you are today by virtue of nothing but like, share, and comment. That is
stated clear that Sowore, Omoyele Sowore, is also what he is today by virtue of like, share, and comment. Why do I say so? I'm not from Sowore's village. I'm not from his locality. I'm not from wherever he traveled to. I don't know him. I know Sowore today because of like, shares, and comments. Because of this thing called social media. That is where I know Sowore from. Let me also let you know, Mr. Simon, that Sowore alone did not protest against all the government you have seen him protesting against. Yeah. Everything you know about Sowore. Oh, Sowore protested during the time of Abacha. Sowore was SUG president and he protested. Why did you know Sowore? It was because he had a higher hands or a higher social media publicity than the rest of the people he protested with. Take example. This young man, listen.
I was a student union leader in this country. I was involved in pro-democracy in this country. I've been around for a very long time. Omoyele Sowore was my colleague. We all fought the June 12th to a standstill. We all fought the military to a standstill. But do you know what happened? I was contesting for that election as the chairman of the party. Omoyele Sowore himself was contesting as the presidential candidate. He became the presidential candidate of the party, aborted the process of having a convention in the Lagos, and he became the national chairman of the party, became the presidential candidate of the party. At the same time, this is somebody who will tell you at the same time he's criticizing Buhari, he's criticizing this person and criticizing the person. For a little opportunity for him to allow democracy, internal democracy to happen, he was unable to do that. And all the
he said, and I quote, he said he was also an SUG leader. He was also an SUG leader. And being an SUG leader, you know protest is not done by one man. How come you are knowing only Sowore? And even when Sowore comes out to say, I protested against Abacha, he comes out to say, I single-handedly protested. It is a lie. He did not single-handedly protest against Abacha. No, SUG is not one person. Student union government is not one person. So if the SUG protested, it is not only you. Some other people have come out to say, oh, I was a leader, an SUG leader, and we all as a union protested. But why are we hearing only Sowore? Because of like, share, and comment. Most of them did not know what social media was. Most of them were not serious about it. But Sowore had Sowore reporters. Sowore had Sowore reporters who was putting out everything he wanted them to put out the news, put out everything. So it was like, share, and comment. Okay? So let's continue.
the absence of like, share, and comment. You would have been nobody. To chop go be problem. No pass.
Exactly what I said earlier. In absence of like, share, and comment, Sowore would have been nobody. Maybe if I be person where we no go know for social media, but not like a public figure that everybody knows now. It wouldn't have been anybody. So if you were actually trying to use like, share, and comment to water down somebody, it makes no sense. Because even you, Mr. Simon, I won't know you without like, share, and comment.
No, okay, maybe possibly past previous skills there, possibly selling a little bit of porno and nothing more. And talking about that now.
And you see the way your vein they expand, you they talk all your vein they expand due to hate because of porno. He sold porno, he used his mouth to talk. There is nothing anybody can tell me. There is nothing anybody can tell me that will make me turn down on Verydarkman because he sold porno. Oga, how many of you buy people when you were in the university? How many of you can open your mouth to say the things you have done? Some of you till today, the things you have done, you will go to your grave with it. You will never tell anybody because most of you have done worse. You have duped people who have gone to hang themselves. You have taken the last kobo of widows. You have taken the last kobo of people through fraud, 419, and those people buy themselves. Porno is a criminal offense. He did something that was morally wrong. Is that a criminal offense? That you want to look at him with disdain over what he used his mouth to confess. over what he used his mouth to confess. Some of you claim you are even Christians. You come and, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. What did the Bible say about confession? Open confession. That's what Verydarkman did. He did not just go to church. You can see, I said this thing before. Some of you, you can't even open your mouth to say the things you have done. Some of you, it is not even done. Things you are still doing till today. You can't say it out. And you come out to come and talk to somebody who has opened his mouth to say what he has done. There are some people who are morally upright. Oga, I am one. I am one. Like you said, that there's no morally upright person that will support him. I am one morally upright person. I beat my chest to say it any day, any time. And I support Verydarkman 1,000,000%.
What are you saying? I'm talking for the Mr. Integrity. Come and tell us about the business you started in China, that you placed the number of your sister, telling people that it was China connection. Come and tell us about that. Tell us about...
Was that he has someone who has the connection to get these phones at a cheaper rate, right? If you want to place your order, contact this number. Contact this number and they will give you the best rates. Oga, did you not hear that clearly? Maybe you need to go and watch that video again.
Why EFCC pick you? Were they wrong or right? And where is there no counter suit?
There's no suit in the first place before you request a counter suit. EFCC should sue VDM first. Or you just see EFCC bring a placard of VDM to say, VDM, you are carried for laundry, you are carried for this. Did you see any of that? There will be a sue before a counter sue. And VDM has come out several times to tell you that he was arrested because he spoke up for the then NAS president, National Association of Students Union. He spoke for that president who was battered. The guy who said Sheyi Tinubu was the one who arrested him. He spoke up for that guy. And that was why he was arrested. Did you not hear that part? Did you not hear that part? That was why he was whisked away like a criminal. Which we all thought, oh, maybe it's GTB, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But they traced him because he spoke up for somebody. All right.
That's your manipulation. Come and tell us how your brother is able to be selling cars and you cannot build a house because you believe doing that will cost you. And
Simon, calm down. You're going to have high blood pressure shouting like this. It's not good for your health. So now let me tell you how Verydarkman's brother is able to sell cars without him building a house. Let me tell you, it's called a very big currency, which is trust. Yes. So Verydarkman has built a good name, which stands as that currency between the distributor and customers. Now, VDM is saying, guys, if you want to buy cars, you can buy from my brother. My brother has the connection. You can buy from him. What does he do? Is drop shipping, just like what most other businesses do. It is not a crime anywhere in the world. It is called drop shipping. You show me, the vendor shows you, this is the property I have. This phone is for sale. This is a Samsung A15 phone and it is for sale. If you want to buy it, let me know. It is for this price. And then the brother comes to say, okay, the vendor is giving me this phone for 205,000, for example, and I'm going to be selling it for 215,000. So if you want to buy, hit me up. This is the phone, and I'm going to ensure that your phone gets to you safely. So someone is able to give the brother money, which he uses it to buy and collects that. Hello. Do you understand? Yes. He uses it to buy and collect it. Then who says if he wants to build a house, he's going to cast him? Cast him from what? Cast him for what? Hello. Cast him for what? So are you saying that they will never build? He said he has not built a house. He has not built a house because he's not going to touch NGO money unlike most of you. Most of the people you support, most of the people you guys flag out, most of the people you will stand behind, there are people who will collect donations. This one has kidney problem, please donate 40 million and they collect 5 million out of it. This person has kidney problem, donate money and people donate maybe like 70 million and the problem is 35 million. They settle the 35 million and use the remaining money to settle their personal problems. He doesn't do that. And that's why he overcame a lot of things by putting up an app for you to see every kobo that comes into his NGO account. His personal account is not your business. If he has a personal account which he uses to settle one or two things and the money is not enough to build a house, it is not your business. And the fact that they are not extorting people like some of you who is buy a car for 15 million and sell it for 60 million. The fact that they are not extorting, they are selling at a very, very affordable price that when you buy, you can see. The price range is not something that is going to cut your throat. It's not. So they will build the house they wish to build, slow and steady. Yes, not from stolen money, not from greed, not from scam, and definitely not to please you.
Why is it that you've been jobless, your brother is jobless? If not for the money from like, share, and comment, nothing would have happened. You can imagine. You're just coming because people are looking at you. At least you are making some little impact in regard debt collection. You think you are everybody now coming to rub shit on people's face. Get a job, dude. Get a job and stop.
So first, Verydarkman is a hairstylist. Before like, share, and comment, before VDM even started all this social media growth, before he gained the visibility, this was Verydarkman with MI in INEC office, along with Two-Face, Pataranking, Bella Shmuda, and the rest of them, where they were going to talk about how INEC should give free and credible election. Look at the date. He was not famous then. Okay? Now, this same person has told you several times that he does handwork, and he is proud of his handwork. So, even without the like, shares, and comments, which pays, which he also used to do back to give to people and do some of his charitable jobs that he does, apart from that, from the little he had, he was contented. He did not go and steal. He was still doing his handwork. You say he sold pono, plus the pono, he did not steal. Did you hear that he steal or he buy person? No. So if you can be using all this your vein, all this your strength to be shouting,
you're just coming because people are looking at you. At least you are making some little impact in regard debt collection. You think you are everybody now coming to rub shit on people's face. Get a job, dude.
All right, so
get a job and stop
the job he does abroad for us to understand, because some of the job that they do abroad, how much do they pay you? Maybe an hour. Some of you make like 2,000 euros, 2,000 pounds a month, 2,000, 5,000 pounds a month, depending on where you work. Do you know if the people that you are calling like and shares even make more than you? But then let's even skip that part. You said something. You said, what does it do apart from the small debt collection that he helps to see? Why I said a lot of you spitting and shouting. You don't really want a better Nigeria. Yes. Tell me how you put it that someone who is helping Nigerians and waking Nigerians from crime and criminality, stealing their fellow Nigerians, what almost every country takes Nigerians as, oh, Nigerians as scammers, Nigerians are this. Someone who is talking to people to stop is small debt collection. Have you ever helped anybody collect debt before and see if it is small debt collection? Have people ever collected debt with your name? This is me. I just collected 20.5 million. It's 29 million that the person is owing just by talking. The person said, please, let me be paying gradually. He just paid 3 million yesterday, which makes it 20.5 million, which I have collected. The balance is 8.5 million. Have anybody collected debt with your name before? To know if it is small debt collection. That's one. Secondly, where were you when VDM brought back girls from Ivory Coast? He first brought in 2. From 2, we had another 70 something that came in with partnership with Airpeace when VDM came and spoke about it and shouted and shouted.
Will result in serious problems. He claimed that the trafficked girls in Ivory Coast were in their hundreds and that some were as young as 12 years old. Let's take a look.
So Abike Dabiri, the chairman of Nigerians in diaspora, after this post, I am giving you exactly 1 week to find solution to this. Exactly 1 week. If after 1 week, these girls are not back to this country, I'll give you the biggest problem you have ever seen in your life. Nigerians, let me show you something. Take a good look at this.
Well, I don't think any of these girls.
Meanwhile, Abike Dabiri has reacted to VDM.
Simon, where were you when VDM was protesting against Yeson Wike and the schools that were closed in FCT? Primary schools. Basic education was closed for more than 4 months. Where were you? Simon, where were you when VDM was protesting against the insecurity?
Come out, don't stay at home. Tomorrow is the main protest. You're gonna learn.
Simon, where were you when VDM went to Jos to go and complain about those who were big by, because we kept hearing it in the news and it was almost like a normal news that we didn't want to read. until VDM went there and made a video, and we saw children without parents anymore, and we saw people who were hands this way, legs this way, and then we knew the gravity of what was going on. Simon, where were you, please? Simon, where were you when VDM went to Yelewata to report? The only single person, first person that got to Yelewata, even before the Pope and every other person said, even the Pope in Rome said they saw it from Verydarkman's page. Simon, where were you? Simon, I said, where were you? Where were you when VDM was busy helping Nigerians who were already defrauded, some have even buy themselves? Where were you when VDM was helping them? Where were you when VDM was speaking about Boardmas and Patrick Kemepadi, where they buy Patrick over a social media dispute? Where was your mouth? When the mouth was needed, all these veins where they expand, your vein was needed then, but you were nowhere to be found. Where were you? Where was your voice? Simon, where was your voice? Where was your voice when VDM started, the sanitization of Nigerian minds, that we need to keep our environment clean? Where were you? What were you doing? In your father's house, or in your wife's house, or in your house? What were you doing? Can I even list the things that VDM has done? Where were you when a young man from Mali cried out to say, please, I'm stranded, VDM, please help me? And VDM sent in money to come back to Nigeria. How many have you helped? Where were you when the ones in Dubai who were stranded and could not do anything, VDM helped them come back? Where were you? Simon, can I even list? Can I even list? Because I can't even list. The list is numerous. The list is numerous. What about the police officer that was sacked just like that? Because of nothing. Just, oh, God don't like you again. Story. They just do, and then before you know, they said he was sick, go and take leave, and VDM helped the man again. Where were you?